I'm actor Chris Bartlett on The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're watching Virtual Cantina Network.
Sorry. You're still muted, Mr. Jawitz.
Very excited to be here. We are going to be watching the 40th anniversary panel from Celebration, which the governor, who we missed, Mr. Notman, and April and I were all at. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We're excited to have you all join us again for the 40th anniversary extravaganza, if you will, for Return of the Jedi. I'm Spencer. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, and your producer for the day is Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good. Playing around with some settings here in StreamYard, but it's working out pretty well. So hope everybody enjoys the broadcast.
Yes, well, people are loving the broadcast. And if you want to comment, how would you recommend that they make sure that their names come up the right way?
Here. Facebook is still doing its thing, so we still have to figure that out. But you can comment, the normal way. But if you want, at some point, for when we figure this out, if you want your Facebook comments to show up in our StreamYard chat for the stream that we see, you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and let it and have it use your credentials. Currently, that's still not working the way we'd like it to. If you are on YouTube and you comment, we will see your name associated with your comment, but we will keep an eye on things that are going on in the comments and reference our handy dandy other devices for the chat to find out who is making any kind of comments we are interested in for sure. But if we decide to
people in the room now, I've got it up on Facebook over there. Good evening, Ashley, Catherine, Jennifer, Hunter. How's it going?
Yes.
And
but if I put up Ashley's,
that voice was great.
If I put up Ashley's comment, it comes through as Facebook user currently, even though I know for a fact she associated her account. So again, we'll get that figured out. But again, feel free to comment, and we'll address those comments accordingly.
Absolutely. And Dave, how you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing well. It is always fun to watch more content for, Return of the Jedi, which is, of course, my favorite Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into stuff to talk about Return of the Jedi, and obviously the 40th anniversary, and you got that, Dave's got that, and I got this from when I went to go see the concert the other night, which was pretty fantastic.
Nice.
And got to see a lot of our brethren at the from the 501st New England. But we got a lot of very exciting stuff going on. As announced this past week on Rebels Revisited, which is celebrating its 1-year anniversary next week. So shout out to the Rebels Revisited crew. But next week, we have a launch of a brand new show here on the Virtual Cantina Network. Dave, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So we've got kind of like our first spinoff, right? A couple months ago maybe, there was an episode of Rebels Revisited talking about women in the Star Wars universe. And that went so well, and there were so many rabbit holes and things that you could go down to talk about that. Well, we've created a spinoff. The spinoff is going to be hosted by Ashley and Jamie, who hosted that episode and several other episodes of Rebels, and produced by Mark Von Olen, again, of Rebels Revisited. So all of those people are going to have a new show called Daughters of the Galaxy that is going to premiere Wednesday, June 7th. Wednesday, June the 7th.
It's right there at the bottom of the screen.
Reading is hard.
You have the crib sheets like right there scrolling there, brother. No, but it's very exciting.
And talking at the same time.
Takes two sides of your brain.
But we're very excited about this new show joining our broadcast and our scheduling, which is going to be on our first Wednesday show every other week. But we are gearing up because along with that, as announced this past Monday, and we have a full press release coming out the next day, I believe, is we're happy to announce that Mark Van Olen is now the program director for the Virtual Cantina Network. Now, what that means is that Mark is going to be helping out programming, what we're going to be doing on the network, a huge expansion that we're planning this next year. But his first assignment is kicking off the Summer of Snips, which is going to be a summer incentive for us to get ready for the programming on Disney Plus, Ahsoka, which comes at the end of August. Starting June the 12th, you're going to see programming every single week leading up to Ahsoka, behind the scenes, talking about all things Ahsoka, from Tales of the Jedi to the Clone Wars to Rebels to the conversations about the world
between worlds.
So it's going to be really, really exciting. And a couple of new spin-off shows also going to be coming out of that as well. But if you are interested in potentially becoming a member of the larger scheme of the Virtual Cantina Network, reach out to one of us or reach out to Mark. We'll talk about what you want to do. You have some programming you want to do or anything of that nature. Give us a ring. We're happy to talk to you, and we're ready to believe you.
And the easiest way to do that, of course, is if you don't have our personal information, if you want to email us at virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com. You just send us something right there, and we'll all get to it.
Yep. And also, happy Pride Month. We love everybody. We love all of our members in our group, close to 60,000 members worldwide. And in the next day or so, look on our page, because we are going to be introducing a whole line of Virtual Cantina Pride shirts. So show your pride, show your Virtual Cantina Pride. With all the shirts going to be available on our TeePublic store. And also one more month left to get our snazzy light and dark side baseball jerseys. You can get both jerseys for $150 with your own name, number, and free U.S. shipping. Have in time for the end of the summer cons before the fall cons. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
If you've seen our shirts, you know we represent well. Dave just went to ICCC, and Dave, how well were we represented?
Okay, we're going through security. There's a group of us, and we're wearing 3 different of our racers, and they are totally trying to kick us out of the general admission line and bump us over to the club line. They're like, "You shouldn't be here. You should be over there in the club line." It's like, no, we're a club, but no, not for this show. So really professional looking. Everybody recognizes them. You get to the point where a lot of the talent is sitting there in the show, looks up, sees the shirts. It's like, oh, I know that shirt. So it's a really cool thing. And absolutely no, Bryce, I'm not going to talk and say a thing about the Jedi Archives, which will be airing this Sunday with the High Republic Adventures. Saying nothing at all. Comic book reviews every first and third Sunday of the month on the Virtual Cantina Network. I'm not saying anything at all about that. No.
We shouldn't even give Bryce, Mike, or John the satisfaction of talking about the fact that there is another episode of the Jedi Archives this weekend. It's beneath us.
Absolutely. You can never see that or the entire playlist of all the other episodes where they talk about the High Republic comics, and they've talked about the entirety of Phase 1, and they're got a good start on Phase 2 of the High Republic comics. No, we can't mention that at all.
But anyway, I want to give a couple of shout outs because we have a whole slew of new members joining us right now, including a member from Japan, which is awesome. We hope to be seeing you when we go in 25 to London. The Virtual Cantina Network will be represented in London. We will let you know what we're going to be doing in the next year or so.
Yeah.
But we got plans there.
We're in Tokyo.
I'm in Japan.
Not London.
You
said London.
I'm still going off that chat. And I was like, Scooby, do you know we're in Japan now? But no,
You did
we're
it
very
too.
excited about.
Aha.
Yeah. This guy here is that. Well, if that guy's Seabass, no. But make sure also we're going to talk a little more about stuff. But on YouTube, if you have your QR, you can see at the top of our page. That goes directly to the Star Wars page. It has the what Jeff is pointing right now. Jeff should be replacing Vanna White because he does it better. The train of thought.
You're in the right
Ooh,
neighborhood.
squirrel.
Just down the street.
Yes, but check the Star Wars YouTube page, and there is the 40th anniversary panel. It's like one of the first things that's up available on there. That's what we're going to be watching tonight. But like I said, we got a lot of great stuff happening with the virtual cantina. We're gearing up for the Family Vacation 2, which we're going back to Cali, which we were at a year ago. Literally, we were literally you were literally in California in Anaheim a year ago. I was on Naboo, but
A little bit over a year and a week.
Family Vacation 2 Electric
53
Boogaloo.
weeks.
yes. So get very excited about it. We got some great information coming out later in the I would say at the end of the summer, with packages going on sale just after Black Friday. We're going to give you guys Black Friday because we usually don't, we usually put something up that day, but this is going to be a little more costly than our usual Black Friday deals. So we'll give you another week after that.
And you have to be prepared to get Black Friday deals like this.
Ooh. Anthony Daniels, nice.
Ooh, well, Melanie, we can't wait for Tokyo. We'll hope you'll be joining us, for that as well. So we're very happy about that. But this panel was a panel that was shown at Celebration. John, April, and I were sitting to the right of the stage in one of the off sections. And it was such a pleasure, obviously, to be there live to see this going on, but also to see the love that Jedi got throughout London the entire weekend. Shout outs from various actors. Hopefully they show the thank yous from Mark and Harrison. They phoned in. It was better than the phone in that George did in Chicago with the mustard on his lapel from being at a diner from Snapchat.
Was he at Dex's Diner?
It was a restaurant. It was like he was FaceTiming us. But fun panel, the memories of London were absolutely incredible. But as we watched Return of the Jedi last week, Dave, this was the movie that brought you in. I mean, this must make you feel old, not just Chef and I.
No, it's not old. Me and my friend have been there since the beginning for this one. Actually, me and my new friend, because I had to buy a new one of these because I loved the other one to death. He looked like a hairless Ewok. It was bad.
Oh,
but yes, this is absolutely okay. I will acknowledge that this is probably not the best Star Wars movie of all time. I give that tribute where I think it's due to Empire. But this is my favorite Star Wars movie. Absolutely just love it.
And I also want to give a shout out also to our great friends that are involved with this movie, such as Kevin Thompson, Margot, Simon Williamson, who Dave was able to spend some time with this past week. The OG Max Rebo, somehow Max Rebo returns. Coming soon to TeePublic. But also Femi Taylor, who's another friend of the group. We love everybody who's been involved in Star Wars. This is a big year for all of you guys who were involved with Return of the Jedi. Mike Quinn. We're proud to be fans of this legacy that you guys have provided. And Hey, you remember when the Ewok village came out, and then a couple years later, Robin Hood decided to do a revamp of the Ewok village and make it short fars.
The toys that
Yeah.
made us sure showed us that. That's for sure.
I was like, wait a minute, that's not an Ewok, that's Kevin Costner.
Well,
Friar
see,
Tuck is
I
the
had
movie
already
there.
had at that point the cartoony Ewok village that was just like a single tree that came out and had a dome that you could like lift the leaves up and there was stuff in there.
Oh wow.
There was a whole version of that I had.
Was that like a smaller play set, like for not for the 3 and 3/4 inch figures?
So yeah, it was more like a toddler play set.
Right.
Almost.
Play
I think
school
it
or
was
something.
less kind of small pieces, bigger, chunkier pieces, that kind of thing. If it would be like 2 to 3 and 3/4, like if that 3 and 3/4 were Lego, this would be Duplo.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Now I'm thinking Duplo, like from the Lego movie. When his sister decides to get involved, and she puts the big Dupe. I love the first movie. I'm sorry, the first one was just awesome, literally. But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Return of the Jedi, in the theaters, and excited about it, and seeing every version that comes out. As mentioned, I just saw it at the Boston Symphony Orchestra last week, which is absolutely incredible. To see it with a live orchestra, especially that they actually played the 20th Century Fox fanfare as part of the live music. The only thing that they did not do live was Jedi Rocks, which is the updated Lapti Neck. Which I was actually hoping they were going to do a live version of Jedi Rocks.
You had that, but to kind of show you how well-rounded and crazy and different things are at ICCC, there was on Saturday not one but like 2 live high school bands that were playing Star Wars as we were entering the building. And later in the day, a lot of the vehicles and the cosplayers and stuff, there was a Star Wars parade with the marching bands and stuff playing along. If you wanted to check that out, you could check out the live stream and the parade stream on the ICCC YouTube channel. And there's actually their own version of the Return of the Jedi panel with all the guests that were there, with Femi Taylor and Mark Dodson and Trevor. What's Trevor's last name? Butterfield. Who?
Yeah, Butterfield.
Yep.
And
Simon.
Who else did I say? And Simon. And Ian.
Ian. Don't forget Ian.
And hosted by our family member Kevin Lyle.
Yes, absolutely, hosted by Kevin. So that was a good time. You can find it right now. I don't think it's separate. I think you have to go into the Sunday live stream, which is like 4 or 5 hours, and like sift through and find it, but it's there and you can check that out.
And our member Tony Ruiz has a abridged version of the panel up on his YouTube page as well. Tony has a lot of great stuff. His Sith page is actually fantastic. We've referenced it a lot during Celebration because he did a lot of how-tos, and he actually utilized a lot of the material that we gave you on the VCN to make his own shows. Yeah. So, that's great. We're giving, information for that. So it's absolutely incredible. Jeff, what was your...
I was sitting a couple of rows behind Tony and watching the panel through Tony's screen and like in the equipment that he had. It was this.
Jeff, what was your thoughts of Jedi when you first saw it?
I enjoyed it, but again, I was 14 when it came out. So I was kind of aging out of Star Wars, maybe. I don't know. So I enjoyed it a lot, but the Ewoks were not my favorites. I will always say that. Although I do love Ewoks now, the Ewok. I know many Ewoks, and I'm all about the Ewoks. So, but And I really like this shirt with a lot of Ewoks.
I do like that shirt as well. Isn't there a cool con coming up in New York with like tons, like an Ewok reunion?
Oh yeah, that was I think Kevin and/or Margot had posted about that today.
Yes, there's a show that's intergalactic, which is in Rochester. It starts tomorrow. It's a huge Return of the Jedi reunion. If it wasn't a 6-hour drive to Rochester, New York, I would actually consider it because the lineup is incredible. If it was Albany, which is like 2 hours from me, that would have been a no-brainer. I would have gone because that would be a one-day trip for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great lineup if you're in by Rochester, which is the other end of New York, heading towards Canada. It's an incredible lineup. And a lot of friends of ours are going to be there. But there's going to be a lot of Jedi people going up in the con season, coming up. Everybody's getting out there right now, which is absolutely incredible. A lot of great cons as well coming up right now. I'm going to Contopolis, Massachusetts in a couple weeks, which has a lot of Star Wars, including our family member Chris Bartlett is going to be there. We got the Superhero Con, which we now have a meetup thanks to Matt Freds, which has Amelia Clark, Ming-Na Wen, and Katie Sackhoff going to be there, and a whole slew of Marvel people. We also have Fan Expo Boston, which has Hayden, Rosario, Ashley, James, Matt Lanter, Vivian. Always has a great lineup. GalaxyCon, which has a whole slew of Star Wars, including Billy D. Williams. And I would like to say is that and Mike Quinn. So you have the pilot and a co-pilot of the Battle of Andor together. And you don't know how many more times they're going to be doing signings together at a con. So as we mentioned for Celebration, if you have a chance to meet OG, actors, go meet them. It's important for that. You never want to live that. I mean, I remember being at Celebration 2017 before Carrie passed, thinking, "Oh, I'm so excited! I'm going to get to meet Carrie Fisher," and she passed months before the con. I was so glad that I met Peter, and he passed two weeks later after Chicago. So if you have an opportunity for those cons, please go. Rhode Island has an incredible Star Wars lineup, always does. Just great shows all the way around. We got San Diego Comic-Con. We had New York Comic-Con with being headlined by Ewan, and he's not Star Wars, but Chris Evans. So if you need Cap, right then alone.
Or the Human Torch.
Yeah, same thing.
There you go. So many great shows. But yeah, we've got a lot of great comments out there. Let's see who's in there. So Chantel
is saying that she'll be at the Joliet Public Library in Illinois. They're having a Star Wars Day on Saturday, a parade with a 501st, vendors, other activities.
Cool.
That'll be cool. I like that.
Very cool stuff. And a couple of our members, Brad and Charlotte. Brad was actually the Rhinestone Stormtrooper that won the cosplay contest in Chicago. He was completely bedazzled his entire Stormtrooper outfit, and his wife Charlotte was cousin It that had Chewbacca bandolier across it, which was pretty hilarious. So if you saw that in Chicago, but yeah, we'll go. There you go. Rebel with a Chewbacca bandolier.
No, those are my Star Wars fuzzy slippers that I generally wear when we're on stream.
Okay, but that absolutely looks like a Tribble. That's how we have the track hair.
Star Wars fuzzy slippers.
Hey Keith, how are you? That's a shirt. That's a shirt we need to have. Friends don't let friends hawk the trek. Oh, but we do. We totally do hawk the trek. Unfortunately, whatever. The Naman's here. Hey Keith, how are you, my brother? But yeah, so remember, go up to the YouTube page for Star Wars, and also please get ready to watch. We're going 5 minutes before we watch the show, but we have the QR that Vanna Caffrey is pointing to.
I don't know how good it will help anybody because if you're on a computer, it doesn't really. Oh, that link.
Well, you can scan it if you have a laptop with a thing. If you're watching on your TV and I don't know.
But everybody out there in the Facebook land, how's our stream looking? How are we looking visually? How are we sounding since we've upgraded our systems?
I look fabulous. Thank you.
I know you were quaffing your hair quite a bit. I was quite jealous.
I know. Sorry. I've literally I'm doing that because I've been working on a truck all afternoon and it's.
Well, it's funny when Skip actually posted the pictures. I'm like, it was pictures of you, but it was like the meetup. Which, by the way, kudos and thank you to Josh Phillips and the Swag crew for allowing us to team up for an incredible meetup at ICCC. But Skip posted pictures, and I'm like, who's that guy with the long hair? Oh, that's Dave.
It's the flow. So I put a link to the panel in the Facebook chat. Let me post it to YouTube as well.
Yes, that's probably a good thing that I haven't frozen yet. But
we're a little laggy and out of sync, but that's okay.
I'd be frozen Fat Spencer on a steak.
On a steak.
Yeah, so we're going to be starting that in about 3 minutes. Hunter says he likes your shirt there, Jeff. Where did you get your shirt?
I got it online somewhere a long time ago. I can't remember. I know I'm pretty sure it's not like an official Star Wars shirt. Or does it say Star Wars on the tag?
It does say Star Wars on the tag.
Okay, so maybe I got it on StarWars.com or shop, whatever, before Shop Disney, obviously, because this shirt I've had for 10 or 15 years at least. But yeah, you might be able to find on eBay or somewhere. I don't think it's a current run shirt. But I like it a lot. This was back when that Three Wolf Moon shirt was real popular with the.
Oh yeah.
But I thought it was super douchey, and it had a wolf in these different positions,
Hey, I used to work for a t-shirt company that sold that.
There you go.
Come on.
Anyways, I just thought it was a funny play on that, and kind of very well done. So and it's got Ewok.
Hunter said the color kept well, so you probably using Calgon, right? Because it's an ancient Chinese secret.
Take me away.
I am not a good laundry.
You're like, ooh, free swag shirt at a con. Cool. That'll last me an extra day. Dave's like, that. I totally do that. But yes, we're about 2 minutes out, so please make sure that you have your YouTube machine all queued up. I have it on my Smart TV over here. It's wicked smart.
Smart. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, get on YouTube and get that queued up. And
so I was kind of thinking maybe we should have a quick live discussion about this, since we haven't decided what we're going to do next week, and then the week after we jump into the summer of Snips. What about this? Throw this out to you guys. What if we watch Attack of the Clones? That's right before the Clone Wars. Just throwing it out there,
Oh, because we're rewatching a lot of Clone Wars stuff, right? Yeah.
The Imperial Academy was neither an Imperial nor an Academy. Discuss.
Mm-hmm.
No. There you go.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Possibility. Other ideas. If you've got other ideas, put them in the chat. Let us know. I mean, what would you like to watch? Some of them will we might not tell you, might be something that are part of the Summer of Snips. But if there's anything out there that you think would be a good watch, Return of the Jedi related, Summer Snips related, Ahsoka related, or whatnot, whatever. Let us know.
We can watch Whatnot.
We can watch Whatnot.
Cool. Okay.
What was not what.
Anyway, we're about that time right now, so we're going to do a 5-second countdown. But does everybody in the chat have their YouTube machine all queued up?
And we're introducing a new little widget.
Oh, a widget. We love
right
widget.
below me.
No,
we now have a
we
stopwatch.
Look, here's my widget.
Widget the Ewok. Anyways, right below me is the timer that will now keep track of where we are in approximately in the video that we're going to be watching. So if you guys get come in late or are, you know, something happens to your YouTube connection, that'll give you an idea where we are. And I hope it helps. Ready whenever you are.
We're all queued up. So we're going to start. We're going to do a 5-second countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Also, I forgot to mention Terrificon, which is one of the cons that I typically go to, that just announced not only Tate Fletcher, but also Dustin Sighthammer, who played Ned B.
Oh, very cool.
There you go. And there's your host, Ming-Na Wen, now a proud owner of a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
She is a Calvary.
Herself during the ceremony.
She is a Disney princess.
She's the Disney multi-hyphenate.
Well, even Bob Iger just talked about that on Twitter, how she has a trifecta.
Nice.
Yes. I think, like I had that poster to get signed of the trifecta of all the characters. I think I need to add a star at the bottom now.
There you go.
Star.
I got to go get some photos of that star now for you.
So will she be? Maybe that'll be part of our tour at the vacation.
Her star is, I think it's like a half a block from Mark and Carrie.
Okay.
If that. It's in the same El Capitan kind of radius.
Near the Grauman Chinese Theater?
Well, across from Grauman's. In front of the El Capitan, which is the opposite side of the street, because that's where Mark is directly. And then Carrie's up like a business or two, and I think Ming-Na is down the other way, like a business or so.
So besides Notman, April, and I, was anybody else who was in London at this panel in this chat?
Crickets. We were watching the live stream, the live stage after, when all these guys got there after, but they did not show us this. This is recent. Like, this whole panel being released is just
they dropped it. Right? They dropped it the day before the last week. It was a week ago yesterday.
Catherine Williams was there.
Very awesome. I almost missed it because I was in line for Galen Urso. He was an hour late. Notman ran ahead. I just said, if I'm late, if I missed it, I missed the panel. But I wanted my pop signed, and I literally made it with 5 minutes to spare. And I saved my seat.
There was the message from Mr. Hamill.
Yep.
Who? That's one of my goodies from ICCC.
Ooh,
cool.
Is very nice.
Is it? Is that a double extending lightsaber?
No, it's just got like the tip a little bit.
The tip's missing. Okay.
The single extension lightsaber, with a little bit of the tip missing there.
I hate when that happens.
Okay, Mike.
So this was great having Ming-Na as the host, although, I don't know. I know she's a fan, but it's like, I wonder if this was like something they did last minute, or if
she was announced. Like, she was announced 2 weeks before that she was hosting the panel, because Warwick is a guest in this panel.
Right.
See, so Sherry said she seemed to remember seeing this on the live stream. If this was on the live stream, I totally missed it.
It was a portion of it. It wasn't I don't think it was the entire thing, but I could have been. I
don't
know it wasn't by itself. This is the complete panel by itself as a standalone video versus that portion of the live stream. I'm pretty sure it was in the live stream that day.
Well, if I missed that, I missed out. That's like me.
Because they showed at least a portion of this panel, and then they showed the interview with Billy D on the live stage later on. And the juxtaposition, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this panel
yet. I just saw Juan Lopez, like directly in front of the camera when he's panned. I saw the blue mohawk.
No.
There you go. It's always fun to.
Also, another one of our family members we saw at ICCC. We pulled up on Sunday, and we get out, and we're unloading our con bags and stuff out of the back of my vehicle, and right next door, Juan. And a friend of his and his children. So I was like, oh, perfect.
Nice.
And I love seeing right here Doug Chang, who was roaming the halls quite often. I ran into him.
I saw lots of photos of him.
Day 3, I ran into him as I was walking. I walked in with Matt Freds and Kyle and Dave, that whole crew. And literally, I was like, ooh. And if I thought about it, if I was quick enough while other people get it, I probably would have gotten something that, because he likes to draw a little something, but I was like, I'm excited. I'm geeking out because he's Star Wars royalty.
I would have had him do my badge if I didn't have anything else handy.
Oh yeah. So at ICCC, Ian was walking the con floor on Sunday. I was sitting there purchasing the Farm Boy Luke. I'm sitting there looking, and I've got like 3 or 4 of them laid out on the table, talking to the guy, and the salesman looks behind me and he's like, "What?" And I look over. So he's like, "Oh, I gotta," and I'm like, "Dude, you can. I will stand right here. Go. Meet Ian.
You should have too.
I will watch the table.
There might be some things missing, but I'll watch it."
Farm Boy Luke in a nice little protective case, but
Farm Boy Luke in it. That might be the price, but no.
Oh, that's cool, Melanie. She was wearing a full Tortuga cosplay.
Ooh.
That's absolutely fantastic. And thank you very much for joining us tonight. We have a great crowd tonight. I'm very happy you guys are joining us.
Yes. Welcome. If you haven't joined us before, and welcome to the regulars and semi-regulars as well.
And also, let's do a quick plug. How can people find us on social media, Jeff and Dave?
Jerf.
Yes.
Jerf.
Many ways.
Number one, there are always all sorts of QR codes floating about on various things everywhere, swag and merch and things that we have, Rebels Revisited cards. But you can always
put this up
if
here.
you know about this here, if you're in our Facebook group, there's links to the YouTube. You can go directly to YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/@Virtual Cantina Network. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. So, even if you don't know exactly when we're doing this shenanigans, that you'll get notifications on your phone. Yes, I said shenanigans.
Oh.
And I covered up because I'm sure anybody who's here that's going to use it,
yeah.
I covered up the link, the QR code for the actual panel with the QR code for the link tree. So if you want to check out any of our stuff, go ahead and scan that, and it'll take you to a nice selection of things on our link tree.
Can you put the ticker up too, or is that going to be covered because of the timer?
Maybe.
The way I placed stuff.
Aha!
You guys are
make sure things are accommodated because we're fancy, like you like to say. Because when we have the Virtual Cantina Network watch-alongs, we like to throw all the balls and whistles in.
Yes, we want to make sure that you're watching the same show because, we could be watching Unifying Force and it could say, watch along.
No,
but that would never happen.
It says live stream, so that won't happen ever again.
Technical glitches.
That
like you said, Sherry.
That wasn't something that got overlooked,
Like you said, Sherry, there's always shenanigans. And there's always shenanigans inbound when you're dealing with the Virtual Cantina Network, which hopefully you'll join us for our shenanigans at several other cons up and down the country and the world over the next year, and also on our vacation to California next year.
Family vacay.
And if you heard or you were with us when we did our first vacation during COVID, it's stuff legends are made of, and it's the stories are legendary. So this one's going to be crazier.
It literally changed. Well, not the face, but it literally changed part of Disney World forever.
Disney World was, definitely altered.
There are many bits of alterations thanks to certain members of our group.
Directly or indirectly because of members of the group.
This part, I love this part of the panel. I can't not comment on.
Oh my God, yes.
They're literally like doing the maquette, doing the like with toys.
Yeah, at this point, there's 4 years of toys or whatever plus at this point for them to cull from, and then set up a nice little redwood forest, and you're good. Look at Boba Fett on a speeder bike.
Now, see, that's what I find interesting here is I can't hear all of it if they talked about it or not. Was that originally supposed to be Boba Fett? Is Boba Fett supposed to be chasing them on the moon of Endor?
I think he just mentions that they were action figures here, but this is great, especially the way it kind of leads into what Robert did for his episode of Mandalorian specifically, in terms of his previous stuff with action figures.
And I mean, really, I would watch this movie.
Yeah, the fun part is that it's so low budget, but it's well done.
It's got more production value than the holiday special. Okay.
So, wow. Yeah. Actually, look at that. It made his arm raised up.
Dave, you want to yell at your roommate in the chat?
What are we? Who? What are you watching?
He's watching Rise.
I'm
Skip.
thinking you got the wrong memo there, Skipper.
I think he's getting his
Rise this evening. This is Jedi.
I think he's getting his Bernie on too early.
Yes.
It's the wrong third movie of a trilogy.
Okay, so we talked about, some of us, mentioned, our favorite, first movie, favorite second movie, favorite third movie. I would have to say my favorite third movie is Jedi. I would actually say it's Jedi. The Sith is pretty damn close. I think Jedi's my favorite third movie. What's your thoughts, Jeff?
I love this previs with Grogu. What's it called? I'm gonna have to say that all my first, second, and third would be the original trilogy, but there are some very strong contenders in there. Sith is very strong. Skywalker has no contention. Rise of Skywalker, I should say. Attack of the Clones is a good movie. It does set up, all this stuff we hadn't heard about for so long. Phantom Menace as well. I mean, there's some stuff in all the movies that I truly love and enjoy, and then things that are not my favorite, and I think I can put up with it the most in the original trilogy.
Dave, so would you say that Jedi is your favorite of the third movies in this saga?
That is my favorite of the movies, period, end of story.
Okay.
Is totally my favorite of the movies, the favorite of the third movies. Sith is a good movie, but it doesn't have the emotional connection that I have from seeing this in theaters.
You saw it at the right time when it was new. Yeah.
What was I like when Sith came out? I think I was in college.
2005.
It was what year?
2005.
No, it was okay. I was not still in college then. I think it's when Phantom Menace came out. I was in
That was
college.
99. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Me too.
yeah, it didn't have the quite the emotional appeal that does. And I mean, I saw Rise of Skywalker obviously in theaters opening night. I think I actually saw it a preview the night before. There were moments. I think there are moments in every Star Wars movie and property, even Resistance, which is stretching like the world a lot. But
That show was. I don't think we're gonna be doing any Resistance revisited shows anytime soon.
Well, we still have to watch Bad Batch season 2.
Unless we have somebody, if there's somebody out there who really is passionate about Resistance and wants to do a show about Resistance, we will probably not stop you. We will facilitate that. But
yes,
I don't think any of us would be involved specifically with the content of the show.
I mean, there's redeeming factors about that. The Star Killer base episode at the end of season 1 was pretty incredible. The destroying Hosnian Prime. So the link up there with our Force Awakens was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Chantel, it's a different style for a different generation. Resistance is, I mean,
it's weird. The animation style is a trip. I kind of was interested in watching that more than the show itself. I really liked some of the voice actors, but also the show itself it's like all they do is race around this base, every episode is kind of what I got from it. I don't even know if I saw every episode, but
and I mean, it would be like things that you love, like the Ewoks cartoon show or the Droids cartoon show. If you were to watch for the first time as an adult, you would feel the same way that we kind of feel about Resistance.
It's not on the level though of Clone Wars or Rebels. It's totally more of a kid show.
I'm really excited. Ashley talked about this the other day. Our portion of Kicking Off the Summer of Snips is actually watching the original Clone Wars cartoon movie. I have never seen it.
What?
Really?
I have never
been on this planet.
Well, keep in mind that I had not watched Fanboys until a couple of years ago as well. So I
was chomping at the bit for that movie to come out, and then it got postponed like 2 or 3 times, and then it was shelved for a while, and then finally they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna release it, and then it came out on my birthday, and I was like, yeah, and I was so happy to go see that. And then I got to go to a DVD release with Dan and Kyle and Jamie, not Jamie, what's her name? Anyways, the female lead in the movie. Yeah, and anyways, I was stoked when that movie came out on my birthday. I was waiting so long for it. It was, the fact that they were going to try to rework it and all that stuff that happened to it along the way, and I was just glad.
We talked about this before we did a watch along with that. The fact that they were going to take out the whole cancer
story. It's like the core of the movie, like the heart.
It's the whole crux of why they're doing the freaking.
The motivation ultimately would be gone. It would just be like, let's go on a wacky road trip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Weekend at Uncle George's.
Yeah, I'm loving what they're showing right now. Is Doug Shang's showing the art that the inspirations and things were from.
What's amazing is how true to a lot of this stuff they stayed.
Well, and how true to a lot of it even went down to the toys, because this past weekend I saw more of the Jabba throne sets complete than I've ever seen in one place ever.
Oh, that's right. You said that was a big time toy
It was
show.
a huge toy con.
Yeah,
And
those
like
are amazing.
there were tons upon tons of complete Jabba thrones. There were a bunch of like pieces and parts. That's what I was like fishing
Oh
through.
yeah,
It's like
looking to
I was
get
looking
your
for
little
Falcon
bits that are
parts and
missing.
stuff.
I was thinking that the other day that one of the things that kind of needs to be added to the family vacation is a stop at Frankensons. If you're from Southern California, I'm sure you're
Ooh.
familiar with Frankensons. If not, it is the most amazing spot to go, and just like if you're into any kind of fandom, collecting of any sort, sports memorabilia, to whatever kind of geekdom, cards, figures, whatever. It's a giant, like it used to be the where they currently are used to be a Sam's Club, and now it's just aisles and aisles of booths like you would find at a con on the show floor.
So
That
it's not a
happen
Spirit
3
Halloween.
times. What's that?
So it's not a Spirit Halloween.
that store may have been a Spirit Halloween at one point, but since Frankensons moved in, it is a thriving spot that's right off the 60 freeway here in Southern California, and it's got amazing vendors that some of them have shops elsewhere, and come there to sell things. But 3 times a week, you can go there and find like almost anything you're looking for. Toy especially related, but a lot of other things as well. It used to be on my list of bi-weekly spot to stop when I did a lot of action figure hunting, as it were.
Well,
I
there
think we
is
should go. All I'm saying.
there is a free day before our Tuesday night meetup in Anaheim, so it's only an hour drive from LA to Anaheim. So
If
that may be a
if
trip.
it happens to be, we'd have to have a caravan for this, because Frankensons is in City of Industry, which is a good hour east of LA, or 45 minutes or so. And is that free day is a Wednesday, correct?
Tuesday,
Oh, what's the Wednesday?
we're going to Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. If we reworked that, Frankensons is a Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday thing, so it'd have to be the Wednesday. But whatever, we still got lots of time to figure that out.
Yes.
I'm just throwing it out there because it's an amazing spot, and anybody who's around, we don't have to spend a lot of time there. It can be a portion of the day kind of thing. But it is an amazing kind of sight to see and experience if you're used to just the little corner toy hobby, whatever, collectible store. This place is that on steroids times 1,000.
Very cool. Very cool. So I have to say, this panel was a great panel, but overall, I thought it was a step up. And that's not saying much from the fan panel. I still think we were ruined from the 40th anniversary of Hope.
Hard certain things can't be outdone or even matched. So, but this is definitely better than the Phantom panel. What I thought was interesting about this panel is how they're doing these phases of guests.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet. So far, this is the first phase, and there will be a change of guests as they go on, because there's not enough. I guess you didn't want to put a bunch of seats out there. I have no idea. Anyway.
Hey, Jeff, can we get a timestamp?
23 minutes in.
Yes, but
that
also
was hard to get. I just had to look at the screen and see it. Very handy. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. So, yep. Yeah, it's off by a second or two, at least on my feed, because I had to start after I pressed start on that. So
I also want to plug again. One more month, actually 28 days. We're taking orders on our official baseball jerseys. We also have a great feature called Afterpay, which is you put a deposit down and you basically you pay it off. So if you're short on funds and you want to order, you can do it that way as well, which is a great program. I know Bryce uses Afterpay quite often and swears by it. We have a couple of members who actually bought their jerseys that way. So take a look at that, and you get your own name and number on the back, which is pretty snazzy, including our new Imperial Cog logo designed by Dave for the Empire.
Yes, because we have an awful lot of like Sithy, dark sidey people in this group.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying, we're catering a little bit. It's not just the Jedi logos and the Force logos.
But also, don't forget as well, we in the next day, so we will be announcing the our complete virtual Cantina Pride line. So keep a lookout for that. The designs are wonderful, and you can show your pride, your VC pride. But happy Pride Month to all of our family members.
Yes, we have one older design that we're throwing back into that line that we're kind of revisiting, but like 3 brand new designs.
It's like old version of the volume here.
Yeah, as we're seeing a lot of like kind of behind the scenes shots that I guess I want to assume we're going to see that sort of thing later this month when we get gallery for Mando season 3. But what I liked is what they were talking about a few minutes ago, or they were talking about the puppeteers, and in there, what's up, Juan? How are you doing? We were talking about you. We saw you on the panel earlier. But they were talking about the puppeteers, and the great thing about the Jedi panel at ICCC, Simon got down on all fours, and he's talking about how he was puppeting this particular character and showing how he would walk along, and his hand is out here doing what it needed to do. It was
I
amazing.
remember a documentary from when we were kids talking about Jedi and how they made like Jabba, and said a lot of it was made with like they utilized pizza dough as part of it.
Pizza the Hut? Yes, exactly.
I remember that for some reason, but I also remember that they had in certain parts of it like a monitor, like it was a black and white small little TV like you would have in your grandmother's kitchen.
Inside the puppet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very kind of Muppety thing to do as well. Like, depending. Like I think Big Bird, the actor inside, has a small like black and white monitor hanging around his neck, and he's doing Big Bird's beak up here and his arm over there, and looking at this monitor, trying to act off the other people on set with him.
Well, do we have a panel with talk with somebody that mentioned that one of the arms when they were doing scenes with Carrie didn't know what they were doing and accidentally copying a field because they couldn't see where they were going with the arm.
Was that during one of the one of our?
I thought it was during one of our panels. Yeah,
it's very possible. I can't remember. But it's funny when you got 3, 4, 5 different people inside operating different parts of the character.
And
more panelists. Here comes.
And one of the panelists decided, one of the members decided Jabba had a horrible gas.
Nah.
And they were all buttoned up in there like they were the human centipede.
Oh, here comes
Yub Nub. I'm just saying, music should have been Yub Nub.
Nah.
That was a joke when we went to go see it a couple of weeks ago. Was if you remember back in the 80s, there was a movie called Clue, and they showed the movie in 3 different theaters, and you didn't know which ending you were going to get. It was all based upon which cinema you went to. So we were all joking that maybe we went to the cinema that was going to show with the Yub Nub ending as opposed to the special edition, which we would have been so happy if they did that.
Of
Oh
course.
yeah, I would have cried at that. I think.
I said that out loud in the theater, was that I wish I was listening to Yub Nub right now instead. When I went on the 28th. It was re-released last month.
There he is. The man with the distinction of being in the entire series.
That is pretty good. And he's in other things like the animated stuff as well. There's
Wicket right here. Actually, Wicket, look, signed by the man himself.
Lottie freaking da.
Uh-huh.
He fancy.
He is.
It's funny, right there. Couple of the best celebration hosts, Anthony and Wicket. They've both done amazing jobs as hosts over the many celebrations.
How awesome was that? Also, was it in Orlando when they brought out a life-size Wicket doll and put it they put it in Warwick's chair on stage behind his desk. So he came out. He's like, "Wait, what?"
Oh yeah, he had a desk. That's funny. Yeah,
Like you're already there. Yes. Do it. He is such a gentleman. If you have not had a chance to meet him, you should, people.
And one more.
Yes, Juan. They are the Ewoks are deserving of your respect and fear.
Orlando one was my first celebration, and that's what got me hooked. How great was that? Happy anniversary.
Works every time.
Somebody's a little bit behind.
This was so hard to watch live.
Oh yeah, this was cringeworthy. That's why the juxtaposition between this interaction and the live stage interaction is like night and day.
Within hours of each other.
Yeah, very close, time, but just totally different, like person almost, being interviewed.
I mean, Notman and I were looking at each other during this panel like, whoa, this is rough.
I hope I get the live stage Billy D. Williams this summer. I hope to goodness, because getting the panel Billy D. Williams, I will be sad. And I understand that happens with our older celebrities. I've seen William Shatner more than once, and I've had like positive interaction, and I've had he's just there filling the space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah, but we don't know what was going on with Billy D and what was up. Is one of the times that I saw Shatner is I found out later it was mere hours after Nichelle Nichols died.
Oh,
and so we're like, oh, if Shatner knew, that explains a whole lot of why he was the way he was.
Yeah.
That's it. A huge voice of Sam and Philadelphia, Mark and everything. And
so if you go on Disney Plus, not right now, after this broadcast, and you can delete scenes from Jedi, you could actually see this scene that Annie is talking about right now that was cut. Also, some cringe-worthy outtakes from extras as pilots being fed lines through their comm, and you hear the lines being fed to them as they're saying it, and they're still getting them wrong.
Look at those cool Nikes Anthony has on in that photo. Look at that. Wow. I hated that style of Nike, but they were running shoes. And
Shatner's coming to every con. Shatner will be at Fan Expo Boston. I'm sure he'll be at Rhode Island Comic Con. Is he back at Galaxy Con for the third year in a row?
That's what I was just checking. Is I thought he was, but I'm not positive anymore. So I'm checking that at this moment.
I can't believe also that
heavy Trek lineup.
I can't believe that we got Frakes and you got like the rest of the crew. Like, how do we get Frakes of all the people?
It's kind of a weird.
Well, maybe because Jeannie Francis wanted to come to you guys more, because you guys have Frakes and Jeannie, right?
Yeah, but we got Rebecca Romaine too.
Yeah, that is
which cool. I did order my Mystique Pop.
Very nice. See, so many people like that. You have such a difficult time choosing like who you're gonna like, what things, what properties that they've been in,
right,
are you going to want to
I hope it's not the Jennifer Lawrence version of Mystique that you got to pop up.
Yeah, don't make me find a Jennifer Lawrence version of Mystique.
It's the 20th anniversary X-Men movie pop.
There you go.
Yes, so yes, Shatner will be at Galaxy Con as well, as I thought he was going to be. I thought I had seen that. So
third year in a row.
And the question is, do I need something else? Because like you said, he is in his 90s. It's not like I don't have other Star Trek stuff here to be signed.
It's crazy that we talk about this all the time. Is that Shatner is $100 ticket standard, and he could ask Hamill Ford numbers if he wanted to.
Oh, completely. Like, yes, he could ask quadruple if what he's asking easily.
I love that they're talking about shooting in Redwood.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how the character evolved so much based on the simple fact that Warwick is 11, 13. What was it when they were filming this? A kid. Yeah. So he's doing things like sticking his tongue through the hole in the mask, where the adult actors are like, no, I'm not going to tongue the costume.
Well, it's wrong choice of words, but wow. But it's funny how, for example, is Kenny was supposed to play Wicket.
Right, that's the other thing too. Yeah, that last minute change is very very big.
Because that was what, that Kenny just wouldn't fit in the costume?
No, he was sick.
Yeah, didn't he get food poisoning or something?
He had food poisoning that day. So Warwick was there and he fit into the costume, so they're like, all right, go. But then Warwick's in that very ballsy letter to George saying, thank you very much. Can I have figures? And he said that the entire canon line.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I love it. He just said that in the panel.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Got the blue Harvest shirt. So you were wearing your blue Harvest shirt.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I bought that purposely, knowing that I was eventually going to go see it in theaters, and I said, this would be awesome just to have.
Yeah. We've been pretty hardcore to wear it to the original running.
Yeah.
Or,
Kevin actually said when he saw my shirt, he's like, I think I have the original somewhere. And I'm like, I'm sure you do.
Definitely a piece you want to continue to hold on to. It's not a Goodwill shirt for sure.
I do have a Revenge of the Jedi t-shirt too.
Nice.
Scary teddy bears.
Warwick looking like a trash panda.
Yeah, he does look like a trash panda. He also looks like a mini version of Peter.
That's
He
true.
does with
He's
that
got his
really
fucking
the
helmet
black
on.
eye makeup there.
Yeah.
He does.
Anthony will be at Rhode Island Comic Con this summer. So sorry.
This fall.
Yeah, fall.
I forget who I was talking to, but was it Misty? At the graffiti event this past weekend that I ran into a whole slew of Mandalorian actors and other Disney Plus actors. We talked about, I was talking to somebody about the lack of like Star Wars actor representation at Southern California cons. Like we had Mercedes at one a couple weekends ago, but you know, what was it last weekend? Anyways, that was 2 weekends. Anyway. So you know, having one person who's also, she's got way more than just Star Wars going on, is okay, but really we need like, you know, a good half dozen other, kind of like they do at other cons.
Yeah, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to a really small con in 2 weeks, and it's got like, well, Chris Bartlett is the largest, I guess what's called name for that. But we got Chris, you got Steve Constantino, you got Lauren Mary Kim, Ming Ku, who was the for Fennec Shand. Mark Dodson's going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Which I got my brand new Jabba the Hutt figure.
Oh, the pop.
The pop, yep.
Oh yeah.
So I had that there, and I decided against having him sign it as like, because I want the one that's more like the one that I collect. I either want the 3 3/4 or the 6-inch San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
I have the single Jabba as well. That's the size of a regular Funko. Or do I want to go make it a group project, because then they get, you get Salacious Crumb in there, and
Yep.
Add Salacious Crumb in there.
the Kowakian monkey lizard.
Here's the cackle. Love that. And that was the cool thing, is Mark Dodson was doing voices on the stage at told the whole story about how he got this job just because he was there like doing other stuff and he could do voices. So there you go.
Handy.
This is when Spencer pulled out his phone and got the soundbite, which you can find on my Facebook page somewhere. He's like, do the cackle. I'm like, ooh, phone.
Yeah.
Record. That was the other thing about this panel. I know they have like a teleprompter with certain points that they want to hit, but it felt very off the cuff. Like it didn't feel like it felt like it was just people sitting around talking with no flow in some capacities, as opposed to a structured panel.
Right.
It's
much better, I think.
Really, I hate to say is that I know I said this after the Fan Madness panel that I could have gotten 3 more autographs and sit through it. I was happy to be at this one, but part of me also said I probably could have done something else and not missed this panel and been okay with it. Like I would. I mean, the 40th anniversary of A New Hope. That was my first experience in anything Celebration. Like that was my first panel, period. So I would have been kicking myself if I missed that one. But I could have missed this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the New Hope one. Yeah, they don't truly compare, so it is what it is. But they've done some amazing group panels, that's for sure.
Yeah.
This is a great group. It's just not as like it could be way more people. Like there could be 30 people on stage easy.
Well, if you remember before, I mean, obviously they brought in other people like, Hayden and Ian into the New Hope panel. But if you remember, they had Peter and Billy D and Anthony and Warwick and George and Harrison and Mark
Right.
all on stage for that panel.
Yeah. So there's, two semi-main characters. Well, three, I guess. 3PO, Lando, and Warwick, and then
Yeah.
Ian's more of a peripheral character. He's not the focus. He's not a hero. And those are not like the main heroes, obviously.
Right.
So not having the core three, first of all,
Right.
when at least two of them are available, so to speak. It's a little bit of a bummer, but it was in London, so a lot of give and take involved.
Right.
But I think they overlooked Femi might have been a good addition.
Yeah, because she was there, right?
Yeah, she was.
She was there. Mike Edmonds was there.
More people.
Sean Crawford. Michael Carter, who I love meeting. The original Carolyn, who played the original Mamapa, was there. My name is Manny Boston shirt.
Interaction between Anthony and Warwick helps deflect away from the sourpuss at the end of the stage. Your feed, Spencer, it's got to be.
My feed seems to be fine.
I can hear the panel.
Oh, then that is actually me then.
Yeah, that's your sound is kind of
just got louder as well.
Really, it was on like 4. Okay.
I think I've been hearing it in the background recently, or the whole time really, but it just seems like it got louder for some reason. Not a lot, but it's just sort of weird. In the background.
It's done.
Cool. This is almost over anyways. It's only a 54-minute panel or something.
Yeah.
But
all right, Chantel. Have a good night.
See ya.
See, I love Ian's George impression.
You know who probably does a great George impression? Frank Oz, because he probably does sound like Grover. If you listen really closely to Yoda, he does sound like Super Grover.
That's a deep cut right there. Love that. The monster at the end of this book.
Night, Juan. Have a great night, buddy.
Good night.
See ya. We'll find out what we're doing soon.
Yeah, I'll ask this question again. There's some new people here that may not have been there before. Is anybody got any ideas on what maybe we should be watching next week? Is
Before the
the
summer
week
of
after that,
snips.
we're gonna go ahead and start our summer of snips and start watching some Clone Wars things and stuff building up. But we kind of got an off week next week. So what would you guys like to see? And here's Billy D, just like nothing.
Brick wall Billy D.
So sad. I mean, I think Bryce mentioned it earlier. I mean, this might be his last celebration.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't see Billy D going to Tokyo.
Yeah, no.
Where's Billy D based? Is he in LA? Is he in California?
Yeah. Well, so that's a quicker flight.
So I mean, Japan is probably not any further of a flight than it was to London.
True.
Well, no, because London, he is like a 12-hour flight.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a little bit less to go to Japan.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is because it's
They're
17
relative.
for me from here, I think, to Tokyo, and that's all the way across the country, which generally takes about 8.
Whereas I would have a 1 hour and 20-minute flight to Canada and then a 13-hour flight.
Oh, Canada. Yeah.
The Clone Wars micro series, well, we're watching the movie in 2 weeks.
Micro series would be interesting.
Well, that was before the movie. The micro series is what led to the Clone Wars animated series proper to actually come out. But the micro series is weird because it originally was 3-minute episodes.
Because it really just kind of aired as commercials on Nickelodeon, didn't it? Was it Nickelodeon?
No.
Disney XD.
I think it was Cartoon Network. But yeah, it was. They were. I mean, they were technically could take the time slot of like a block of commercials because they were all about 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes, and a lot of action and very little talking. They were very cool. Gendy Tartakovsky animation style. So if you're familiar with it, Samurai Jack,
yeah,
is like very much Samurai Jack.
Well, when you see Mace Windu leap over 3 mountain ranges and
into a field of wheat. Yeah, and then do the Mean Joe Green, throw the kid your jersey.
He's a bad effer.
Yeah, he is.
With a bad bitch.
That's what he didn't do in the movie that came out after that.
Okay.
Right? No, I don't. Yeah, I think the Clone Wars micro series didn't it air in between 2 and 3? I can't remember.
See, now this was a bait and switch right there. It's just
yeah.
like Harrison Ford is like, no, he's on the freaking screen,
and he's like in a studio somewhere, multi-camera.
Well, that's the funny thing is that he probably filmed that at the same time he filmed the Indiana Jones clip that they showed at the opening panel.
Was it the same style or was it?
Yes, with the white background, the whole thing. So I'm saying they got him in the studio and said, "Okay, you got 15 seconds. Talk about this. Go."
Put up the prompter.
right?
Well, there it is. We're at the end.
You see, if it was Mark Van Olin, he would change his shirt before each time he was on screen.
Yeah, or put on a fedora or something.
That's right.
Don't forget to buy your tickets for Dial of Destiny. And now on D+, you have the first 3 movies of Indiana Jones. You notice I said that. first 3 movies of Indiana Jones. I said that purposely. First 3 movies of Indiana Jones.
Yeah. That other travesty doesn't count.
But we got Mutt, whatever his last name is, out of that.
No. That is a cool poster right there. That is an amazing poster. I love that.
With Matt Ferguson print?
Yes.
So when we were at the Bash, they did D23 did a showing in downtown London, and he went with Ashley Eckstein to open the panel. Nice. I mean, open the filming. I mean, the showing of the movie. No, it was not good. That movie was a recruitment for Scientology. I'm convinced. But yes, that's a great poster. I have it. I need to get that framed. But I actually saw somebody who bought one of those cheap knockoff T-shirts of the poster when I went to go see Jedi at the Boston Symphony the other night.
Oh, wow.
But
what rolled in next on my YouTube is the Star Trek Captain Summit hosted by Whoopi Goldberg. Watching.
Ooh.
Guy
named giving up drinks.
Forget you guys. I'm going to go watch that now. See you.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Don't forget, you can also not only order your baseball jerseys right now.
What sport are you pushing this time?
It's the sports ball.
Yay, sports ball. So take a look at that. Also, our Pride shirts will be available in the next couple of days up on TeePublic, which we will advertise for that. Dave, what do you want to plug on the VCN?
I want to plug all the things on the VCN. All the things is always remember we've got so many shows coming. Is Sunday Jedi Archives. Again, they're talking about the High Republic comic books. Then we've got Monday. Monday is the 1 year anniversary of Rebels Revisited. Then Tuesday, of course, is Happy Hour. Wednesday is this Wednesday is the debut. June
yes,
the 7th.
Sir. Coming up in less than a week.
Daughters of the Galaxy. See, look what we did right there. It's right there on the screen. A brand new spin-off show. And then, of course, Thursday, you can catch us right back here with a watch-along of, who knows, something
cool. We might even be Star Wars adjacent. You never know.
Well, it could be Star Wars adjacent.
That watch-along of Dead Man's Chest was amazing. But we had an amazing guest. That made it amazing.
We did have an amazing guest.
Not likely to have an amazing guest, but you never know. What's that?
There could be whales here.
Spoiler alert for next year.
For next year.
Yes. But so much good stuff going on right now. Dank Ferrick. Exactly. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. So, so Jeff, anything for closing?
Nope. Just glad they posted the panel by itself, even though, like Sherry mentioned, it was in the live stream, but having it separate was nice, and it's great to revisit an amazing movie on its 40th anniversary. And I'm glad we were able to watch it last week and do this follow-up this week. Very cool.
Brilliant. Dave?
Yeah, love this movie. Love any content related to Return of the Jedi. I will watch any panel, anything, anytime that Ian or Warwick or Anthony or Ming Na, anytime they go to talk, is I will watch the heck out of that. And that was a good one. Thank you for joining us for that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Gear up, because we're going to get a lot of stuff coming your way in the next couple of weeks. A lot of information, a lot of new program guides that we're going to be offering in the next couple of weeks as well. It's going to be pretty awesome. But once again, if you have any ideas for shows or if you want to help out behind the scenes, reach out to one of us or email us at Dave. What's our email addresses?
virtualcantinanetwork@gmail.com. Easiest way to get us.
There you go. So we're very excited about all that, excited about the expansion and everything we're going to do. Keep an eye out for everything going on. Same Ewok time, same Ewok channel, Virtual Cantina. So from Jeff, from Dave, Spencer saying, may the force be with you.
Yub nub.
Yub nub indeed. Yippee ki yub nub.